Tonight, often the hardest part of kidney dialysis for new patients is to accept the loss of freedom and independence they feel as their life revolves around treatment at a dialysis center. Well, some Central Valley dialysis patients have found freedom from that rigid schedule. They got the help they need at Clovis Community Medical Center's Outpatient Dialysis Center and the in-home dialysis program.
With daily workouts and an active life in the community, most who know Dorrance Broom might be surprised to know he is a kidney dialysis patient.
Once you get, the whole thing in your mind and you can accept it, then you're doing okay. It's still a long process, but, it's hard to accept.
Dorrance first tried hemodialysis, but did not like the restrictions it placed on his life and how physically tired he was after each treatment. The staff at Clovis Community's Dialysis Center told Dorrance of their in-home dialysis program and peritoneal dialysis.
The biggest part of it is more energy. I'm not tired all day. I can get up after doing a session at home at night, overnight. I can get up in the morning. I can go all day, no problem. I got plenty of energy.
Hemodialysis usually requires visits to a dialysis center at least 3 times a week. It's a rigid schedule with no flexibility. With peritoneal dialysis, Dorrance can fit his dialysis treatments into his schedule. It gives him freedom to enjoy his normal activities.
You don't necessarily have to go to sleep, but you have to hook up to the machine so you can run your 9 hours.
The staff at Clovis Community's Dialysis Center taught Dorrance how to care for himself. Through the in-home program, a support nurse is always available to answer his questions and to help with any problems.
See how you're doing.
Peritoneal dialysis is a process which uses the body's own peritoneum membrane as a filter. Through a small catheter in the abdomen, patients inject a glucose solution into their peritoneum cavity. The membrane lines this cavity. Some people think of it as the body's third kidney.
It's a membrane that is able to naturally filter waste products and excess fluid from the bloodstream into that fluid in the peritoneum, and then that is what is removed.
During a dialysis treatment, a small machine injects and drains the fluid from the patient's body multiple times. When a session is over, a small amount of the fluid remains inside the patient. This lets the cleansing process continue between treatments. It keeps waste products from building up in the patient's bloodstream. Nurse Julie Salinas says this helps patients feel better overall.
The patient's dialysis is much more gentle and not as hard on the body as hemodialysis is, and they don't get the roller coaster effect of hemodialysis.
Dr. Joseph Duflo, director of Community Regional Medical Center's dialysis programs, does not recommend one form of dialysis over the other. He says it's the patient's choice based on their needs and lifestyle. There are some advantages to peritoneal dialysis.
They have more freedom in movement and more independence from the day-to-day grind of the medical community per se. They also have a little freer diet. They can drink more fluids, they can eat more fruits and vegetables, and we encourage them to eat more sources of protein.
Diabetes and high blood pressure often lead to kidney failure. The growing number of patients with these conditions means a growing demand for dialysis services.
Therefore, to supply all our patients with the optimum care, we expect peritoneal dialysis to also become more and more common.
Patients can live for years on dialysis, but they have to pay attention to their diets and to their health.
Once you get used to it and you're in the groove of it, it's just like getting up and brushing your teeth.
As an in-home dialysis patient, Dorrance visits the Clovis Dialysis Center monthly. The center tracks his weight and blood pressure and orders blood tests to look for signs of trouble. With this support and in-home dialysis, Dorrance is able to stay active and healthy with freedoms to enjoy life his way.
If you would like to know more about peritoneal dialysis and the Clovis Community in-home dialysis program, you can call the Clovis Dialysis Center at 559-324-4030. You can always get more information on that and other dialysis services at Community by logging on to our website